In today's video, I'm going over the main reason why beginners are destined to fail when they get started with self-publishing. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dane, and on this channel I talk all about self-publishing books on Amazon, on entrepreneurship, and just lifestyle in general. So if that kind of thing interests you, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. In today's video, I'm going over the main 3 reasons why beginners are destined to fail when they start out with self-publishing, whether it be on Amazon Direct Publishing, Audible, ACX, or wherever you're self-publishing your books. This pretty much applies to everything. There are some specific things to Amazon Direct Publishing, but in general, these are, from personal experience, the 3 main reasons why beginners are destined to fail. And of course, I'm talking about how to also avoid making these mistakes when you start out with self-publishing in order to not fail. I'm going over everything in my computer here, so let's jump into it and get started with the video. So reason number 1 as to why beginners are destined to fail when they get started with self-publishing is because they are cheaping out in the beginning. All right, and this is kind of just the hard truth. And basically what I mean by that is that beginners just aren't willing to invest in themselves and their business in order to get a return. And what they expect when they go into self-publishing is that they don't have to spend any money at all. It's going to be completely free and they'll make a bunch of money back. And unfortunately, it's just not the case with self-publishing or any online business or any business in general. And that's just the hard truth. So let me explain what the specifics are when it comes to this cheaping out in the beginning. So one thing that I noticed with a bunch of new self-publishers is that they put all of their time and all of their effort, putting all their money and time into low content books. And I shouldn't say money because low content books are very, very affordable. It can be almost free to get started with, which is totally fine. You can definitely start out with some low content books. I'm not saying they're bad, but what I'm saying is don't put all of your effort, all of your time, and all of your money, if you're spending money on them, into low content books in the beginning. Instead, put maybe some into it, get it started. But then if you make money from those low content books, or if you have some money saved up, get started with a long form book, as I call it, maybe a 25, 30,000 word long book. The return on investment with these long form books is way higher than making hundreds and hundreds of low content books, in my opinion, and from personal experience as well. Another thing I see people who are brand new do is just copying other people's books, their titles, their style, their covers, the marketing approach, whatever it may be, and expecting their book to do exactly the same. And unfortunately, this just doesn't work. You have to make your book slightly different, make it your own style, and put your own effort into it instead of just copying every single thing that that winner is doing. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad to copy some things that winners are doing. When I say winners, I mean books that are selling well on KDP or Audible, whatever it may be, but don't just copy everything, okay? And I know this is a cheap way to do things because you can just say, hey, this is exactly how I want it. And if you have a writer, you can say, I want it to be written like this. And in terms of cheaping out, I'm kind of talking about not only just money, but investing your time as well. And when it comes to copying books, it just does not pay off in the long run at all. You're copying everything and it's just not going to sell because there's already a book that's exactly like yours, but it has way more reviews and way more traction already on Amazon. So why are people going to choose yours over that book? You have to make it different in order to stand out and get sales. And I know it's cheaper to copy them, but in the long run, it's just not going to pay off. And this one right here is very, very obvious, but I'm going to mention it because a lot of people still do it. And it's basically hiring and working with very bad writers. And the appeal for a bad writer is that they're very cheap. Maybe for a 30,000 word book, you can pay someone $300, but that writing is going to be very, very low quality. And that's going to lead to having bad reviews on your book, and that book is just going to fizzle out over time. So in my opinion, if you're going to be hiring a writer to write your book, whether it's 25,000, 30,000, 50,000 words, invest in a high quality writer and someone who's going to make a high quality book for you. From my experience, maybe at 30,000 words, it could be $800 to $1,000 to get the book written. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that straight up. Don't spend like $200. It's not gonna pay off in the long run. And finally, not budgeting appropriately for Amazon ads. And I know this is something that a lot of people don't like putting money into, but if you don't have like say $400 to $500 to spend on your book in the very first month for Amazon ads, it's just not gonna rank. It's not gonna get sales. And over the long run, you're not gonna be able to rank that book and get organic sales for it, which is gonna end up in you not getting any sales and just failing eventually. So those are the 4 main points when it comes to cheaping out in the beginning and how to avoid them. Reason number 2 is no clear keyword or niche when it comes to publishing their books. People try to target 3 to 4 different keywords. And I see what they're doing with this. They're trying to make up for not being able to afford 3 to 4 different books. They're just gonna put all of it into one book, and hopefully that's gonna rank for all these different keywords. But let me explain to you the disadvantages of doing this. And I did this with one of my first books, so I know this firsthand. I'm not saying don't put similar keywords into the same niche into your title. So what I'm saying that is if you have a gardening book, Maybe there's different styles of gardening that you can put as keywords in your title. What I'm saying is don't put gardening in your title and then like home improvement in your title and then like crafts in your title. Those are completely different niches. It's okay to put things that are similar to your keyword. So gardening, different styles of gardening, hydroponics, aquaponics, whatever it may be, but don't put home improvement, gardening, like completely different niches in the same title. So what I'm saying is don't put two keywords / niches that could be their own books. Okay, you can make an individual book about gardening. You can make an individual book about crafts and hobbies. Don't put them into one unless you're making a bundle in the future, but I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about singles. It's just going to make your book seem very scattered and very general, which is something you want to avoid for sure. So people who are new will try to stuff as many keywords into their title and their book as possible. And this is a mistake that I made. When I made one of my first books, I made 2 books in the beginning. I made one that was very specific, and then the second book had like, I think 4 different niches in the title. And guess which book did better? The one that was way more specific and that was way more focused on one single niche compared to one that was super general with a bunch of different niches. And this causes a few issues. Let's be specific here. You have no clear idea what the book is really about from your perspective or the customer's perspective. If they're scrolling through Amazon and they see your book on Amazon and there's a bunch of different keywords in the title, it's gonna be kind of confusing what that book is about, and you're probably gonna lose the sale. It also forces you to advertise in many different niches, which can be very, very expensive. If you have a book that's focused on one niche, you only have to advertise in one niche. If you have a book that's focused on like 4 or 5 different niches, you're gonna end up spending a bunch of money on ads because you're trying to advertise in all those different niches at once, which is gonna be very, very expensive. Another thing is not focusing on one keyword makes your book a general book, like I mentioned before, and not a specializing in book. And when people are searching on Amazon, they're not really looking for general books about 5 different niches most of the time, okay? Maybe 20% of the time, but 80% of the time, people are looking for a book that's specifically about one topic, one general idea, all right? So if I'm looking for a book about gardening, I'm not really looking for a book that contains stuff about crafts and hobbies and home improvement. I'm looking for a book specifically about gardening. So that's why it should be very important from your standpoint and from the customer standpoint to focus on a single keyword or niche. More keywords also means more competition to compete against. You're gonna be competing against people in gardening, competing against people in home improvement, competing against people in crafts and hobbies and home, whatever it may be. And you're gonna stand absolutely no chance to compete against all 3 of those. If you focus on one single niche like gardening, you're giving yourself a way higher chance to rank in that niche and make more sales and dominate in that niche. Reason number 3 is quitting at their first speed bump. All right, and I've seen this so many times, people in my program, people who aren't in my program, just people in the self-publishing space in general. As soon as you face a bump in the road, it's game over, I quit, I'm done, let's move on to the next business model. And that kind of mentality is seriously what ruins so many businesses. And I see people with tons of potential and they end up quitting when if they would have pushed through that resistance, things would have been way better afterwards. So the main thing that I see this happening to is people who are only worried about making 10K in a month. And if they don't make 10K in their first or second month, it's like, okay, this is a failure, let's move on. And that's just something that's not really realistic. 10K in a month is definitely possible with self-publishing, but it's not gonna take 1 to 2 months. It might take 5, 6 months to achieve that kind of goal. What you should be doing is focusing on your first $100 and then moving on to your first 1,000, then moving on to your first 5,000 and then 10,000 and so on. Okay, do it in stepping stones. Don't expect that 10,000 month to come right away. It's not gonna happen. Above all of those other things, the number 1 priority should be providing value to the reader via a high quality written book about a topic the publisher has interest in or past experience in. So if you don't have any kind of interest in your topic, maybe no experience at all, and you just don't like it at all, chances are the book that you create is not gonna be very high quality, which is in turn going to create some problems because if the book is low quality, that means you're going to get no sales and then you're going to face that resistance again. Like, should I continue with this? And it all starts from the beginning. If you don't choose a topic that is or a keyword that is high quality, has a lot of demand, low competition that you enjoy making the book about, you're probably not going to put a lot of time into it, which is going to end up in a poor quality book that's going to get you no sales and you're going to face that speed bump that a lot of beginners face and then they quit. And if you avoid that kind of thing, focus on something you enjoy, focus on a keyword that has demand but low competition, it'll make things so much easier. You're not going to face as many of those speed bumps like I'm talking about. Remember that self-publishing has an enormous compound effect, all right? So if you make that high quality book, you can make another high quality book, an additional book, and every time you create an additional book, it's going to make an entirely new stream of income. Think of one book as income A, 2 books, income B, third book, income C, and so on. The more books you make, the more money you can make. And technically, that just makes self-publishing and gives it the opportunity to make unlimited income, depending on how many books you make. But think about it, if one book can make you $100 to $500 per month, think of the power that 10 books can earn you every single month. But before you even think about that, you have to start out with a high quality book that gets those sales. Okay, that's why it's so important. And that's why making that high quality book avoids those speed bumps, and the less speed bumps you can have, the more books you're going to make, the more money you're going to make. As long as you always put quality first before everything else. Okay. Can't stress quality enough in order to avoid having these minor bumps in the road. And if you have these minor bumps in the road, look back on it, figure out why it happened, and then improve on that. So that is pretty much it for today's video, guys. A little bit more of a quicker one, but I wanted to explain the main reasons why I see people failing when they start out with self-publishing, because there are tons of different reasons, but these are probably the most three prominent ones that I've seen people make, or mistakes that I've seen people make that are brand new. So I want to point those out to you. So if you're brand new, you don't make the same ones. So before I let you go, make sure you join my self-publishing Facebook group. It's 100% free. It's the first link in the description down below. It's basically a community where you can ask any questions about self-publishing, and there's over 7,000 people in there. The screenshot is very old, but I'm in there. I'm answering questions all the time. And the best part about it is when you join the group, you get access to an ebook that's pinned to the top, which is a 5-step guide to getting started with self-publishing. So if you're interested in getting self-publishing, click the first link in the description and join my Facebook group. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video, and hit the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. Try to post new videos every single week about self-publishing, online entrepreneurship, and just lifestyle in general. So hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.